favorite people. Somehow we found ourselves into a Euro 2020 series on the channel, and a big part of yesterday's video was, I was like, why would England boo the German national anthem? Why would y'all boo over the playing of the national anthem? And obviously, like, I know the history of World War II, but I'm still trying to figure out the dynamic there between, I guess, England and Germany. But I found a video that's called German Bombing Campaign Against Britain in 1940. I guess it's just deeper than I realized, and like the tension is still there from World War II. Understandably so. So yeah, we're going to be reacting to a video called The Blitz, German Bombing Campaign Against Britain, and see what actually took place during World War II to still have, like, tension be around in 2021. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I know a lot of you like my history videos. I kind of slowed down on them because with the history content, it does bring a lot of, like, criticism. Oh, how do you not know this? How do you not know that? No, you're not listening properly. You're not understanding it. It's just, I don't want to hear it all the time. So I've been slowing down on the history stuff, and I just want to do the content that's, like, entertaining to me. But this is also a video that is very prevalent, so I was like, I need to do it. And subscribe, like, DM me video over on Instagram, check out my other channel, my music channel / vlog channel, and here we go into the Germans bombing England. How, why, where, let's see. The Blitz. That's like a technique in American football, too.
In May and June 1940, Holland, Belgium, Norway, and France fell one by one to Germany. And Adolf Hitler started turning its target across the English Channel to Britain.
Motherfucker.
To deactivate Britain, a formidable obstacle in the German invasion of the Soviet Union. Despite being known as the strongest and best-trained air force in the world at the time, the German Luftwaffe failed to cripple Britain's Royal Air Force in the Battle of Britain.
I freaking hate Nazis. I follow this, like, history page on Instagram, and it's like posts historical photos, and there's this photo, and I read the description, and basically it was just, there was a photographer, I believe from England, in fact, that was going around Europe and, like, just photographing things. He got hired by Germans, the Nazi regime or whatever, and, you know, they were all cool with him until, like, the leader of the Nazi team or whatever found out that the guy was a Jew. And there was a huge contrast in the photos that he was taking of the man before he found out, and then you see the photo of the man after he found out that the photographer was a Jew, and his entire face was just, like, disgust. I don't know how, this is like racism, hatred, I just don't understand it. How can you hate someone for their religion, race, whatever? It's just stupid. I hate them.
Forcing Hitler to change his strategy. That's when a heavy bombing campaign known as the Blitz, particularly targeting British cities, ports, and industrial areas, was ordered.
So it's not even just an attack on the humanity, like the cities where the civilians live, but like your ports, so you can't trade or anything like that. They're trying to hurt your economy. They're trying to hurt the infrastructure. They're literally trying to cripple the country of Great Britain. And again, I'm just like, why can't y'all stay with it? Same applies to America, but why couldn't Germany just stay within their own borders? Like, bitch, you took over France. Was that not enough? You took over Belgium. You took over Holland, Norway. What do you want to cross waters to get to Great Britain for? Like, mind your business. Hitler is so annoying.
In an attempt to force Britain to surrender and decimate the morale of the British people.
Never!
What is Blitz? The name Blitz, a short form of the German word Blitzkrieg, meaning lightning war, was a sustained campaign of air bombardment on civilian targets conducted by the Luftwaffe, the German Air Force. The Blitz began on the 7th of September 1940 when the German Air Force decided to change its bombing target from the British Air Force to London.
Fuck. Oh, you know, London is like the most, aside from like Tokyo, Milan, you have all these staple cities around the world. I don't know what America's would be. New York City, maybe? Like, that's our staple place. I think New York. But, you know, around the world you always have these, like, staple cities that the big countries are known for, and London is y'all's. So for them to straight attack, that's like them attacking Paris, which I know they did. They did something with the Eiffel Tower. So for them to go straight to London, that's like speaking volumes, and it's fucked up. Excuse my language.
Although London was the main target, other British cities and towns, Belfast, Birmingham, Bristol, Cardiff, Clydebank, Greenock, Sheffield, Liverpool, Manchester, Portsmouth, Plymouth, Nottingham, Southampton, and especially Coventry.
You bitches! It's not even like they didn't just go for England, bitch. They came for Wales, they came for Ireland, they came for Scotland. And you know, a lot of these names I still recognize now. Birmingham, Manchester, Belfast, Scotland wasn't hit too much, but it did seem like they focused a lot on England, but still they did hit all of the United Kingdom, which means they wanted all of the United Kingdom. Freaking greedy.
Were also subjected to heavy bombing raids.
Plymouth Rock.
The war was divided into 3 phases. Phase 1.
Where were we at? We need to be helping y'all.
By 4 p.m. on the 7th of September, nearly 1,000 German planes were crossing the English Channel in a formation that was 20 miles wide. From
I even like imagining that. You've seen like those old like war movies where it's like just endless manpower. Think of Game of Thrones against the Night King, I think his name was, and his like army of the dead. Just a sea of warriors. Imagine a sea of planes just dropping bombs on you. 27 miles wide. You can't even like your peripheral vision won't even see all the planes coming at you. At that point, it's not even like you can hide inside your home because it's about to get obliterated. Do a lot of the homes over in England have like basements and stuff or underground bunkers? I would hope so. I would hope so. Over here, you don't have that. It's only really in the north where the like original 13 colonies I feel like were. But yeah, in Texas, we don't have any bunkers or basements or anything like that. But for stuff like this, you would need it.
Airfields in France, making the first night of the Blitz. Their target was the heart of London, or the East End. The first wave of bombings saw 348 German bombers following the River Thames towards the U-shaped bend and dropping bombs on the London docks that were surrounded by the heavily populated East End.
Imagine all the people who passed away from these motherfuckers.
The first air raid stopped at 6 p.m. and 2 hours later, led on by the fires from the first attack, the second wave of bombers approached with 300 bombers dropping high explosives and incendiary devices onto the already devastated East End and docks.
That's fucking insane. That's like, for example, putting it in an American's perspective, the day of 9/11, they attacked one tower, then they came back and attacked another tower. Now imagine after that just destruction and chaos that was going on, a few hours later they came and attacked another thing, and we're just, the Pentagon for example, they just started attacking everything all day. It's like you have no chance to even recuperate or battle back or anything. It's just like ruthless. Fucking Nazis. Where'd they get their like equipment from to even be able to do this? And again, where was America? Like, what were we doing?
In just one night, London suffered approximately 450 fatalities and around 1,500 injured.
No.
From the 7th to the 9th of September, London was subjected to round-the-clock bombing raids, causing further extensive damage and civilian casualties. Over the next few days, poor weather postponed the next main effort until the 15th of September.
Y'all are always complaining about the rain, but hey. But still, from the 9th to the 15th, I guess it was pouring down rain, so they couldn't, like, even see out their little airplanes, so they couldn't bomb. Freaking, why didn't y'all fight back, or meet them in the air, you know? Attack them. Someone storm over into Germany. At this, I was gonna say, just nuke them. But we did nuke Japan, and we see how that ended. But Germany was doing way too much. Why did we nuke Japan? But it's not me, like, justifying or anything, but why would we nuke Japan and not Germany? You know? Someone answer that.
When the Luftwaffe made 2 massive daylight attacks on London. The first targeted the Battersea railway station on the West London Extension Railway in Battersea District.
They're very, like, tactical with what they attack. Like, they were attacking the harbors, the main city, which is London. They're trying to attack a railway, which is probably for transport. It's not just like they want to just hurt people. They want to, like, cut y'all off at the ankles, basically.
The link between London and the heavy industries of the West Midlands and other industrial cities in the north and southeast of Britain.
Bitches.
The second target for the larger second attack during the afternoon would be the dock areas of the Thames estuary. However, that same day, the RAF launched a vigorous counterattack, shooting down 56 German aircraft in 2 gunfights that lasted less than an hour.
Less than an hour.
Realizing that the Luftwaffe could not gain control of British airspace, Luftwaffe High Command decided to switch to night attacks. On the
Pussy ass shit. So they tried to attack during the day because they're like, yeah, we're whooping their asses. EastEnders is falling. London is falling. We're taking all their harbors. Fuck London. And then the HEF or HFA, whatever he said, came and started attacking them back during the day, because, like, obviously defend yourself. And they're like, okay, so it's not as easy anymore to attack during the day. Let's go back to night. Weak ass shit. Stupid Nazis.
14th of October, the heaviest nighttime raid saw 380 German bombers from Luftwaffe 3 hit London. The bombing air raids continued during October, causing...
Like, do they just not care? 380 planes just dropping bombs? People are gonna die here, like civilians. You're not just, like, hurting the workers who manage the station or destroying infrastructure. You're hurting the kids who were trying to go to preschool. Or the mom, the single mom who was just on her way back from her shift, you know? So,
the London docks and railways communications to suffer heavy pounding. Phase 2. From November 1940
Liverpool,
to February 1941,
Scousers.
the Luftwaffe shifted its strategy and attacked other industrial cities.
Like, I just thought, like, okay, from the 10th to the 15th, that's... Oh, no, he said the 9th to the 15th. That's 5 days right there. And, you know, they were attacking a week before that, too. So now you're telling me from November to February, months of attacks? Not saying I agree, but your boos during their national anthem, justified. During Euro, England versus Germany, freaking justified. November to February, y'all getting dropped bombs on. Justified. What the... Wow. That's insane.
The raid against Coventry, an important...
You know, they got off easy with a couple boos. Oh my.
Engineering and armament producing center was especially devastating. From the 14th to the 15th
women
of
just
November,
trying to work.
Coventry saw about 503 tons of high explosives and nearly 30,000 incendiary bombs dropped on the city.
And I know I do have some German subscribers, and I'm not throwing hate at you, but this is messed up. The Nazis were messed up. Like, it's not even... I don't think anyone in the world tries to argue about what happened with Germany. What they were doing was terrible to the entire world. I don't know. Y'all are just gonna have to take those boos on your chin like a champ, because, it is what it is. It's history. You can't really hide it. You can't change it. You can't deny it. What happened, happened, and at this point, we just have to move on. But don't be mad that people are still, like, giving you boos for it. 30,000 bombs on one city. Come on.
And in these hours of relentless bombardment, 568 people were killed,
probably
and
women.
850 seriously injured.
In one
Around
city.
21 factories were seriously damaged, disrupting industrial output for several months.
Again, they're not even just killing the people. They're hurting the economy. They're hurting the infrastructure. They're taking people's jobs. People with no jobs probably can't feed their families. Like, it's so much more than just, oh, we want Britain. We want the land. I'm taking it. That's not a German accent. I'm not going to try to do one. But it's just so much deeper than just war. Like, it sprouts out everywhere. And again, where is America? Why aren't we helping y'all?
Besides Coventry, other cities such as Birmingham, Bristol, Southampton, and Liverpool were also subjected to hundreds of tons of bombs dropped.
My family, I think this is London, where that little river was. And my family is, like, in Barking area, so, like, down here. I don't think my family was there, though, in the 40s, so I don't think we were affected. But where they live now is Barking Station area, so probably, like, down here. So if we were there during that time, we would have been hit, too, by the Germans. But I don't think my family immigrated there until probably, like, 40-ish years ago, I'd say. In the 80s, maybe? 90s? I don't know.
Probably the most devastating attack occurred on the evening of the 29th of December.
So now we've got November, what? He said November to February. Yeah, so we're still in the time frame. Never mind. I thought they was going for another month, but it's still the time frame. Sorry about that.
Probably the most devastating attack occurred on the evening of the 29th of December, when German aircraft attacked the city of London itself with incendiary and high explosive bombs, causing a firestorm.
And I feel like I've seen this city. When I was first of all, the ride was overpriced. You know those little carrier things with the bicycle with the hood that tourists get? Yeah, I paid like £50 for that shit. I think it was a ripoff. But I vaguely remember seeing that thing and thinking it reminded me of Soho in New York City. I feel like I've seen that building. But the fact that, like, not even 50 years prior to me being in London, it was on fire, insane. And also just, like, so disgraceful. How are you going to bomb a whole city People are burning to death, dying to death, can't breathe. It's like 9/11, kind of like, how can you even do that to another human being, you know? The Nazis weren't human, though, really.
That has been called the Second Great Fire of London. Civilian casualties on London throughout the Blitz amounted to more than 28,000 killed.
Fuck. Oh, these people were just insane. Millions in the concentration camps, almost probably hundreds of thousands in England. You know, you got the Japanese going crazy. World War II was just insane. And I understand now why they call it World War, because the entire world was just flipped upside down with this shit. I could cry right now. 28,000 people dead in England from the bombings. Motherfuckers. Boo!
And 25,000 wounded. Final attacks. In 1941, the Luftwaffe shifted its bombing target to Britain's maritime resources. In a series of 46 raids between February and May, ports including Plymouth, Portsmouth, Bristol, Swansea, Merseyside, Belfast, Clydeside, Newcastle, and Hull were pounded heavily, although they still managed to function. Plymouth in particular, because of its vulnerable position on the south coast and proximity to German air bases, was subjected to the heaviest attacks.
I feel like y'all, English people should be proud that you even still exist after this. Like, the fact you were able to persevere past this is, like, commendable. And that being said, you know, I have a lot of respect for the Queen and the national anthem, but this is where I kind of like the American nationalism a bit more. You know, whereas your national anthem is about, you know, God save the Queen, long live the Queen, the Queen, the Queen, the Queen. It was the people who really, the Queen was fine. It was the people who had to live through this shit and had to, you know, get back to normal life, figure out where they were going to sleep next, how they were going to pay their bills, feed their families. So, you know, our national anthem is like, I can't even think right now because I'm so overwhelmed with everything going on. It's like, our flag was still there, we're still strong, we're still persevering, you know, long live America, long live our families and our values and all that. It's not just about America, though, it's also about the American people and our strength. And I feel like that's something, I'm not calling you guys, like, not nationalistic or, like, your self-worth isn't there, but I feel like on a grander scheme, especially in the government, it should be more about the people. You know, long live the Queen, cool, but what about the people as well?
Many houses and commercial centers were heavily damaged, and the electrical supply was knocked out. The last raid, also one of the worst, was carried out on the 11th through 12th of May 1941. Westminster Abbey and the log...
I was in Westminster Abbey. Or no, I was in Westminster, the castle. I took a picture there. But to know it was freaking bombed... and I'm trying not to equate the Germans to the Nazis because not all I don't think today's day and age no Germans agree with the Nazis, right? That would be insane to see a fascist German. No.
The courts were badly damaged, while the chamber of the House of Commons was destroyed.
House of Commons.
1/3 of London's streets were impassable. All but one railway station line were blocked for several weeks. London suffered severe damage. However, many German bombers were also shot down by night fighters, proving the growing effectiveness of the RAF night fighter defenses and the weakened threat of German bombing.
Good. Is that it?
Aftermath.
Oh, okay.
The Blitz came to an effective close in May 1941.
Fuck the Soviet Union, too. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months of just bloodshed from these people. Ridiculous. And how they get all the way from, like, mainland Europe all the way over to Norway. Why'd you want Norway? What'd they do to you? You know, they're over there with their snowfall and huskies and stuff and coats. Why do you want Norway?
When Hitler decided to attack the Soviet Union with Operation Barbarossa.
But baby, look at the size comparison. What? They did say he had a lot of mental illness, and I can see. Why would you think this little mass that you've acquired You're feeling on top of the world because you're killing a bunch of people. Why do you think you now have the power to attack this much land? You know, Stalin was no better than Hitler, in my opinion, but it's obvious he's gonna beat you up. And he had the backing of the UK and America on his side, buddy. Not a chance, dummy.
As the Luftwaffe did not have sufficient resources to conduct a two-front war.
Duh. You go over here,
the Luftwaffe
over here.
High Command recorded the loss of 2,200 aircraft over the British Isles, a quarter of them fighters, and one-third bombers. At least 3,300 Luftwaffe aircrew were killed, 2,600 missing, and 2,100 wounded.
Now, do we kind of cut the people who were fighting for Hitler slack? Because there was a lot of propaganda, a lot of, like, manipulation. Or do we say they were grown-ass people making choices, harming people? There was a video I think I saw where it was, like, an Israeli soldier, and he was mad at the government because he was mad that they weren't giving him, like, therapy for all the things he had to do to the Palestinians, but he wasn't actually mad about what he did to the Palestinians. He was just mad because, like, he was traumatized and they weren't helping him for helping the Israeli government. Let me not go into that. Too much politics right now.
Total losses could have been as high as 600 bombers, 1.5% of the sorties flown.
Fuck you.
For the British, it is calculated that during the Blitz, together with enormous destruction of property, about 43,000 British civilians were killed and another 139,000 were wounded.
Did y'all have the NHS back then? That would be a great time, but I'm sure they would be overwhelmed. That's why I like nursing. My soul. Love it. 43,000 dead, though. Why? For what? What did Hitler want? At that point, you've already conquered so many people. Just, like, what? When would he have been satisfied? When all the Jews were gone? He wasn't even blonde and blue-eyed, so what's... Fetishism. Bitch, if you have blonde hair, blue eyes, that means that you're, like, very pale, you're susceptible to sunburns. But you're the superior race. You're gonna get sunburnt if you go outside. Bitch. Weird.
Despite causing unprecedented destruction and death, the Blitz had little effect on Britain's ability to continue in the war, failed in its immediate purpose of crippling British air power, and failed to corrupt the morale of British civilians.
Amen.
Instead, the war contributed to strengthening British determination to defeat Nazi Germany in later fights of World War II. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, after we just heard about people dying. Oh my. Anyways, yeah. No disrespect to, like, the Germans of today. Like, I know I have subscribers from there, but yeah, a little booze after 40-something thousand people were killed. Y'all can take a little bit of booze over your national anthem. After hearing all this and seeing for months the, like, just attack after attack for months on the English people, buddy, those boos are warranted. Bye.